Le progrès a toujours besoin d'un rang de lancement. Une onde numérique ayant pour objectif de répandre un bon message. Un message de paix dans toutes les nations, à partir de PACIS TV, ta vie renouvelée en Jésus-Christ. PACIS TV, ta vie renouvelée en Jésus-Christ.
Hello, welcome to my home show. Welcome to PACIS TV. Today I bring something that I feel you are going to like. Actually, it is a show that we are going to be talking about vocations and the monastic life. I hope you are going to enjoy. You know, as you might know, the church prepares for the upcoming feast, the Good Shepherd, which we are going to celebrate this Sunday. So we are also going to celebrate the World Day of Prayer for Vocations. This day was established by the St. Paul in 1964. Actually, it was established to invite us to publicly pray and promote vocations. So we are going to talk about vocation. Earlier today, I read a statement made by His Holiness. He was saying that we should pray for the monastic communities because they are praying and they are working hard to move the church forward. So stay tuned. This is what we are going to be talking about. My guest today is special, as usual. Yeah, today we are going to be with, we are blessed to be with Sister Mary Regina Wangui Mongothi. Thank you very much. But this name sounds like Kenyan.
Yes, I'm a Kenyan by birth.
Oh, wow, yes. Wonderful. So, unazungumza Kiswahili?
Tunazungumza Kiswahili, na
Kiingereza. What else? And Kinyarwanda.
We have other local languages. Yes. Depending on where you are coming region. From. Yeah. Okay. So you see, as I said, we are going to be with the Sister Regina, Mary Regina. So we are going to run this show together, and she has insightful experience to share with us. Yeah, to convince us that we should be praying for the work that they are doing to move forward the church. The host of the show, as usual, is Feribe Hirwa Tuzayisenga. Sister, welcome again to our studio. Thank you.
What's the meaning of Wangui? Your name?
Wangui is our local name, which means a soloist.
A soloist?
Yes, somebody who starts songs so that others may take over. Yes.
Do you know why they chose this name for you?
I was named after my grandmother, and I guess she used to like to sing. Yeah, she was a good singer.
Okay. So what is your favorite name? For me, I've got 3 names. Actually, in my early age were 4, but now I kept on with 3. But my favorite one is my middle name, Hirwa. So what is your favorite name?
My favorite name is Regina.
Regina.
Which means queen.
Yes.
It.
Yeah. Wonderful. I actually like comedy. What do you like?
Like singing.
You like singing?
Yeah.
Wonderful. There is a time I was watching a comedy by a Nigerian. His name is Basket Mouth. Do you know him? Basket Mouth.
No.
Okay, good. So he was telling a story. Stories, very nice stories. Then somebody said that actually when you are born, there are 2 things involved. Either you are a civilian or you are in the military. So, but we are now talking about religious or spiritual life. So when you are born, there are two things involved. Either you are in a lay person or you are in a clergy. Let's look at the life before you decide or you become, before you became a sister. Please tell us about Regina before joining your congregation.
Okay, before joining my congregation, I was born in a village. I was brought up like a normal village girl. I went to school, primary, secondary. Then from secondary school, that's the time I started going outside my home village.
Going then, outside like from moving outside the country?
No, from this district, from this village to another district, something like that. Yeah, but
like from Nairobi to Mombasa.
It might not be that far.
Okay.
It might not be that far, but at least by that time as a village girl, when you go somewhere else, you feel moved somewhere. So I was brought up in the village, and then as a young child, we were introduced to the church, going to the church, the importance of the church. And when we were still young, back in primary school, I started now going for catechesis.
Oh.
Because my parents really insisted that we should be full Christians. And that is why they insisted that we have to go to church, we have to receive all the sacraments. And then, especially after confirmation, that is when they told us, what does that mean? It means now you are a full member of the church. And now you have the right to take responsibilities in the church. So that gave me the new strength. And I feel like I'm just a member of the church and I need to do something. So we started like teaching children, teaching Sunday school, such things which really helped me to grow spiritually. Yeah.
Oh, wow. So if I do understand well, that there was the support from the parents.
Yes.
So they were Catholic. Good example, exemplary parents. Yeah, to just to help you to grow up spiritually. Is that correct? Then when was that? How old were you?
That time I was around 5 years, 6 years, yeah. Very young.
So very interesting. So I want you to help us to understand the journey. Was it automatically, or you had something that that helped you to make the step after step after step continuously without stopping?
It's a journey.
Yes, it's a journey.
It's a journey. In the beginning, you start like you don't know much of what you are doing. Like for example, myself, when I was still in school, the priest could come and give us mass. We could go to the church and see how he's doing. He come to.
And that was a boarding school?
It was a boarding school, but the priest could come from the parish and celebrate mass for us. Then he goes. On Sundays, during holidays, we go to church. We go to small Christian communities. So there I could admire the work the priest is doing. Could see him with old people, he's part of them. Coming to young people, he's fully with them. Poor people, he's there for them. So I really admired the life. The work they are doing.
That word is very, very important and is also key, the verb admire. Please help us to understand it well. Did you have a dream to become a priest? Or did you have another dream? Because we want to understand the word admire.
Okay, that's where I'm heading to. So, that time I really admired. And I said, I wish to become a priest. At the time I had not known anything about sisters. And so I approached the priest. And I told him, Father, I want to be a priest. And he really laughed at me. I was wondering, why is he laughing at me?
At that time you were like 15 or 17
Around
years?
15 there. Yeah, because in our place by then I did not know sisters. I had not seen sisters.
And in the neighborhood, you had never seen?
I had not known any sister. But the thing is, there was that desire to serve like this priest, the way he was serving, to serve the people. So I told him I want to become a priest. Then he laughed and told me, no, for women, they don't become priests, but they are those women we call sisters. And
you had never seen a sister?
No.
And you had never even read a book about sisters?
No, I had not. Yeah, so he told me there are sisters. Maybe with time, I will invite them even here in the parish so that you can see them. And that is how it started.
At the age of around 15? Yes. So that was the time with the priest. Then what happened when you were with your parents from school? Did you tell them the same story, that you wanted to become a priest? Or that time when the priest was telling you the story that please, you don't have to become a priest, but you can become a sister, you were convinced?
I was convinced, but I did not know how. Yeah.
So parents were aware of that?
I had not informed them, but I could always ask them for permission. Should I go to church? Sometimes if there are vestments, they need to be washed. That time now I had grown, so I could always ask them for permission to go, and they could allow me. So I think they could see there is something which is pushing me towards the service.
Towards the service. Now, what was the motivation? Because were you aware that they don't get paid for what they are doing? What was your motivation?
That time, I nobody told me, but I could feel. I did not know whether the priest gets money. So I know whatever he's doing is free. He's serving God. That is the word I knew. He's serving God. Yeah.
For you that time, who was the God? How could you understand what the image that you had in your mind? Who was God that time, at your age of 15 or 10, when you wanted to become a priest?
I knew God is somebody who is so powerful.
Powerful.
Yeah, somebody who is beyond everything. Because in catechesis we could learn who is God. God is the creator of all things, visible and invisible. So I could imagine this mighty beings can create all these things. So it was something which was beyond that I cannot really express. Yeah.
And you could easily give the relation between the priest and their work that they were doing, and to the powerful superhuman the God.
Yes, I could imagine the service this priest is giving. And I could imagine how God is feeling that this man is doing for him. So I could see him like this mighty being is really blessing this man. Yeah, and I wish also, can I do the same to this God who is so great?
Now take us to the first time that your parents got the information or were informed about the decision you were about to make to become the nun.
Okay, in the beginning, that one I thought I had to continue encouraging me. You have to study. To study first. As I was doing other things, then after my studies, then I told them, I want to, before I could tell them, I want to go for seminar. Because now I came in contact with the sisters, and I want to go for seminar where sisters, so that could tell them exactly what I want, and then they could give me transport and all what I
sisters
need. No,
or the parents?
My parents. So I could go. Then at last they accepted them. I told them I want to now to join the congregation.
How they just try to remember the reactions of the parents, starting from the father. What was the reaction?
Okay,
let's say maybe it was in the evening around the dinner or supper, or maybe during lunchtime, or maybe that time. We just describe that time.
Yeah. Okay, in the beginning, I could tell him before even I joined the college, and he could tell me, first you study. So I had to study first. So when I finished, now I got a job. Then the time came, I told them, now I want to join the congregation.
So you invited him, or you invited both of them, and then you said, I'm mature now, please come, I have something to tell you. How was the situation?
They were together, we were together at the table.
And you were coming from the work?
Yeah, I was working from far, but that time I was...
But you could commute on every day?
No, I was staying far. So I could come maybe after 1 month.
Okay.
Yeah. So at the time I told them I want to join the congregation. And then they were good Christians.
Who reacted first? The father or mom?
First there was a silence.
A silence?
Yeah, and then
yes.
told me, if that is what you want, who are we to stop you?
And that was dad or mom?
It's my dad who started.
Okay.
Yeah. So if that is what you want, life is yours. Yeah, because the only fight with my dad was first to study. You don't go anywhere before you study. So that time there was no problem. And so from there, now I was free to communicate with sisters, to see that I am now ready. So when the time came, they provided me with what I needed. And there I am.
Wow. Thank you very much. We are with Sister Mary Regina Wangui, and she's sharing with us her experience in her congregation. Please tell us about the journey, the process of making the decision. You had already, at your age of around 15, you had already motivation. Yes, but just tell us that journey to make the decision. You finished your schools, then you started working. Throughout that process, you had in your mind the person you wanted to become. Did you encounter some challenges or other motivations or people discouraging you? Just tell us about that process. You had decided already. The priest had told you that please, I will show you those who can help you. Then you had in your mind what you wanted to become, and you had someone that could help you. Describe that journey.
So
from the school, and you are at where you could work. Yes, you could spend the nights experiencing different or encountering different people telling different stories, which could discourage you or even encouraging you in the vocation you wanted to start.
Okay. Yeah. So challenges are always there. After now, when I was in the training, that's the time now I came now to come into contact with many sisters, and that is the time I realized congregations are different. There are many, they are all sisters, They are all serving God, but they are different. And so the question was, where should I go? And sometimes with my friends, we could visit sisters, we see their communities, how they live, and you feel like this congregation, I don't feel at home. Although there's nothing wrong they are doing, but I don't feel God there. And so visiting the congregation, then you see how they live, the work they do, you feel this, I'm not sure whether this is the place. But my real experience is when I visited Benebikira sisters. I had not known them. That I came across one of their postulants who happened to be where I was.
Where and when?
That was in Nairobi.
In Nairobi.
Yes.
And that was
they are also in Nairobi. Yes.
And that was in
that was around 2017. So from there we talked that you can come and visit our congregation, come and greet our sisters. So I hear these are Rwadis. In my life I've never seen a Rwadis. Because how do they look like? Are they white people or what are they? But all the same, I went. So when we reached there, we found sisters, very friendly. They welcomed me as a young girl, and I really felt quite at home. They made me to feel at home. So that why we just went to visit shortly. So the sister told
that was the first impression.
Yes, that is what I got. Then she told me, now you go, you have known the place. Now you come to visit. So we went back because I was going to work. So I could not even spend the night there. Then I came after 1 week. Now I came when I'm ready even to spend the night with them. So when I reached there, now I was in the community. I found other young girls, the postulants, the novices, they were there. But what surprised me is the way they welcomed me. So when they saw me, they were very happy. It's like we have been together all through. They sang for me. I kind of asked myself, who am I? That these people are really dancing for me. They are happy. So I really felt at home with them. Then what made me more happy is when we went to the chapel. When they
the same day?
The same day, in the evening. Their prayer was like, I felt like I'm in heaven. Very singing very well, very nice. And that really said, surely, I think this is where I have been looking for. This is the place. I said, God, even if I don't know whether they will accept me, but I really feel
that is the right
this is the right place for me. After that, now the following day, I went home. When I was going in the morning, I said, these 3 sisters, not the ones in formation, but the sisters, they are elderly sisters. So they escorted me up to the road. I said, my sure, who am I to receive this kind of love? They escorted me, we were just sharing, and before I could see sisters are people who are somewhere very high, you cannot reach them. But now these sisters, they are just like they are there with me. I could not feel like I am fearing, or I'm just with people who are like, they are my parents, very happy and quite at home with me. So that made me really feel, I think, that celebration which I'll never forget.
Okay.
So I just said, no, if this is how it is in the beginning, what about if I join them? I think I will be the happiest person. And so after sometimes we followed the process, whatever we are supposed to do.
So you spent there one night?
Yes.
Okay.
Then from there we are still communicating. So at last, I received a phone call, told me, Sister Regina, would you mind to come in the community? Because where I was working is not very far from the community. So I went, and then they gave me a letter that you have been accepted in this congregation.
So the time, sorry to cut you short, so the time you went there for the second visit, you went there with an application letter. You had applied already?
I had not applied. I applied
after leaving?
Yes.
Okay.
So after receiving the letter, then I went and shared with my people. As I shared with my boss, I was already fearing, because now I said, now this letter, how will I start? It was in January. By January, I had already made my program of the whole year of how I'm going to work, where I was, the things I was doing. But then when I gave my boss, he said, wow, this is great. So I did not get anything to block me. And that is how it started.
Interesting story. Yes, the second visit, let's call it the first visit, because that is when you spent a night, and after that you felt loved, and you also you were touched by the way they pray. Yeah, after joining the community, these things that touched your heart were the same for the first week, or for the first month, or even for the first year?
They were more than what I expected. They were more than, because like I was given the date to join the congregation. There are other people, other girls who are joining with me. So when I reached there, I find we are a mixture of people. In Kenya, we have different tribes. So I find we are all kind of tribes. We have people from Uganda, we have people from Rwanda. So it is a mixture of people from different places. And that made it even more better, because you could see all the differences. And then we could share. You hear this is somebody from Uganda speaking Kinyankole, something I've never heard before. Then this is Mukamba, this is Luo, this is Karejin, people whom we have never met. So it was so exciting. So when we have like prayers, everything we are doing different. We are doing together, but every time you learn something new. Yeah.
And the love was still there, and even the way they could pray you, the same, was still the same. For you, no surprise after joining?
For me, after joining, even I got more than what
you were expected.
Yeah.
Before we actually talk much about your experience in the congregation, there is something that we want you to clarify. You finished your schools, then you immediately started work. At your age, it is time to actually, normally in the Africa, mainly in Rwanda, in these East African countries, when you finish schools, it's time to look for a fiancé, or a fiancé will come to you. When you start work, people are looking everywhere. Oh, that one is my choice. That one is my choice. Tell us about that experience. How and how you will.
Yeah, as a young person, of course, those things have to be there. People will come proposing marriage. They tell you this and this, but still, you know what? Okay, you find some who are really insisting, but then, you know, you are not the one to decide for my life. This is you. You are the one who want me, but that's not my decision. That is your decision, but it's not mine. So, would you give me time? There are some who started, and some think maybe even before I went to college, I Gusika told them, okay, I'm in school, can you give me time? First, I finish my studies. So after, like, somebody still following you, this and others, they are still looking upon you. So a time came, I told them, okay, I think we cannot live together. This is what I want. So one of them said, how? If that is what, I cannot fight with God. But it's still, somebody is not still convinced. Even when I go home, like in the postulant, somebody is there. But how long are you going to take there? It's a lifetime. You better forget me. You continue with your life. So we had to make it clear to them. Those challenges were there. Others, they are like when you are working, you tell people this, I want to leave. I want to stop working. I want to start this life. And some could ask you, surely, are you okay? You see how people are struggling to get a job, and here you are. You want to resign? So there are all those kind of questions, but then I think you have to know what you want. In life, you have to know, what do I want? And when you know what you want, nobody should come on your way to stop you from what you are doing. Yeah, I think that's what Jesus tells us. You have to look forward, no turning back. Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much for sharing with us this inspiring experience. Like you said, Jesus said, also Jesus said the journey to follow Jesus or following Jesus is not so easy. Let's look at your experience in the congregation. You had been already touched by the way they pray and their love that they had for you. But before joining, I'm very sure that you had your own way of living at where you had your job. You had your own way of living and enjoying your life. Then let's look at the other side. After joining the congregation, how was the life?
Okay, after joining the congregation, of course, from my interaction with sisters, I had an idea of how this life is. And so outside there, you have your own freedom.
Sure.
To do what you want.
Yeah. Like after work, you go there, you buy senator.
Yes.
Yeah.
You do what you want. Sleep when you want. Wake up when you want. So
and you talk to phone with any volume you want.
Yes. So now when it comes to religious life, now you have to follow another way, where there are rules, there are regulations, which you have to abide with.
Yes.
And of course, why these rules? They are to help me to reach out to my goal. Because when I have come there, I have come with a purpose. This is what I want. And so if I have started this life, we call it formation, where now we have to be prepared. They have to prepare us for what we are looking for. And so there are many things you have to forget.
Yes.
You cannot just do exactly what you want, because this is the only way to help me to reach where I want to go or to reach my goal.
It is not so easy. Then my next question would be, were you prepared for this, or were you aware of that your life is going to be something else? You have to refrain from doing some things in your life that you used to do before. Were you prepared, or were you aware of that?
Yeah, I thank God that the sister I used to share with, she was very open. She could tell me openly, this is how this life is. And I felt it is very good.
And that was just the time you were still working? working.
Yes, yes. So
and even before the first visit and the second visit.
Yeah. So we could know this is exactly how this life is like. So even when I was joining, I knew there are these things I have to abandon. There are these things which I should not do. So I knew what it meant.
So all your things were so easy to give up, or there are some character that were so hard for you to say to give up?
No, the best thing is that when we started this journey, the formation, there are formators. So there are people who are journeying with you because they know these things have to happen. So whenever you maybe experience a challenge, something which is not pleasing you or something you don't understand, they were there. So you could share. By the time you feel like maybe I'm discouraged, there is somebody you will share with, and this person has enough experience. So life continues.
Life continues. We are with Sister Mary Regina, and we are just discussing about how the work they do in their congregation, their role, the role they are playing, and as I talked about it earlier, that according to the Holy Father statements, that we have to pray for them because the work they're doing, the job they're doing is moving the church forward. So Sister is sharing with us her experience in the congregation before joining congregation and during the congregation. Yes, we're saying that it is not so easy to change that life. Do you have some challenges you encountered during the congregation life?
Okay, I think the challenges which are there, they are normal challenges.
Normal challenges.
Yeah, like for example, as I was saying, I had not interacted so much with people from different cultures. Now in the congregation, as I'm saying, we are from different places, different parts of the country, so from other countries. And so things has to change. Things cannot be exactly how they were at home, when I was at home. So things like language, you have to learn different languages. And of course, the challenge was not for me alone. We were all struggling. And also the good part of it is that we are all learning from each other. So if somebody speak broken English, I speak broken Kinyarwanda.
Yes.
And then we compensate each other. So it becomes a fun. Yeah, sometimes we would feel like, especially when we go for mass, hear this language I'm not understanding. But then with time, you come to get it. Yeah, you get the language barrier. Sometimes you want to say something, then you miss the word to express yourself. Yeah, another thing is like the food. Of course, wherever you go, you find these people eat this kind of food. But now from the formation, at least we get used to eating whatever comes on your way. And we find beauty in that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember one time I was outside the country, outside Rwanda. Then they brought a food, and they brought a maize, but it looked like a decoration. I avoided to eat it deliberately because I thought maybe this is a decoration. So, the experience we just shared reminds me this. These actually are the normal challenges that I may say they are normal, actually, even in normal life. So, is there or are there some other challenges related to spiritual life? Like in our like civilians, we pray. There is time we pray, then we say, "Oh God, where are you? You can't even show me that you even understand what I'm telling you." So have you the same challenges in your congregation?
Okay,
Challenges related to spiritual life?
What you can say, the challenge is to adapt. Because as I have shared that when you are not in the congregation, you pray when you want, and again it is not so much, do what you want, but this time now we have to pray. Because this life, when you are to live this life, prayer is part of your life. Because without prayer, really, you cannot make it. And so, this idea of waking up, you have to pray in the morning, you have to pray many hours of prayer. So that one, if I was not used. But then with time, you come to understand, why am I going to pray all this time? Why do I have to pray the rosary every day? Why do I have to do these other kind of prayers? You know, this is the way, this is the only way to reach my goal. Again, when I think of the life I want to live, it's a call. We are following Christ. We say like religious life is a call. It's a divine call. That means it's a call from God. It is not something which you just get from anywhere. It's a divine call. And so this one who called us, we have always to be in contact with. In the same case, like if you love somebody, if I love somebody, you need to be close to this person every time. You need to hear, how is this person doing? So without that interaction, then you find what kind of relationship do we have? So in religious life, our relationship with God, we create it through prayer. Through prayer, through sacraments, through the word of God. All this has to go together if I have to be really with God. And that is where I will get the inspiration to know what kind of a mission am I supposed to do. Because as a consecrated person, I'm called to spread the word of God, to express the love of God to other people. I have already experienced it, but also I'm called to go out and express it to other people. Let other people also experience who is this God. Let them experience the love of God. So that is our mission. And it's only through prayers that we can achieve that. Otherwise, whatever we'll be doing will be of not any help to the people of God. Yeah, and of course I could say when I left home, what was pushing me is that love of God. The way I could see that priest reaching out to people. So I'm also called to, this is the same way of life that God have called me. That we say, when you are called, you respond. But then when you are called also, you don't just call somebody and without any mission or what. So God calls and give us the mission that is to extend His love to other people.
Thank you very much. This World Day of Prayer for Vocations, which we are going to celebrate very soon, actually it will be held on the theme Vocations, Grace and Mission, like you said. According to your experience in your congregation, like you said, this is our mission. What are you doing to advance or to make the church grow? This is the church with capital C. I'm also included. So what are you doing?
Okay, what we are doing as a congregation, our charism is evangelization. And we do it in different ways, in different apostolates. So we reach out to people. But the first thing, somebody said, like, in today's world, people don't want to hear many things. You don't have to tell people so many things. What they need is the example, is the life. The life I'm living should tell other people what to do. We say like we tell the youth they should do this and this, but our life should speak more than
the what?
The words. So as we are trying to, we reach out to people through different apostolates, and with that we do it with the aim of extending God's love to whatever we are doing. If I am teaching, I'm a teacher, it's okay to teach like any other teacher, but I, as a consecrated person, mine should not be like this other teacher. This teacher is, by the end of the day, he expects salary. And if without salary, I'm not coming to work. So for us now, we go beyond that.
And you are motivated by invisible.
Exactly.
So
yes. So as we are pushed by the love of God, we want this child to experience that love of God, as well as teaching the child mathematics or English. Is there something else I'm adding to his soul? So for us as Benebikira, we educate the whole person, mind, body, and soul.
Mind, body, and soul.
Yes. So that is how, wherever we are trying to express that love of God. In the midst of whatever we are doing, in hospital, wherever we are doing, we have to make the person experience the love of God.
Wonderful. They are expressing the love of God, and by doing so, they are just helping us, our children, the future of this world, of this country, by educating their minds, supporting their bodies, and also building their souls. This is very, very, very important. The work you are doing is commendable. Do you have a message to the audience, to those who are watching now?
Yeah, to our audience, it's just to tell, let us commit ourselves to the life of prayer. Let us trust in God, because God, any other person can let you down, but God will never leave you. He's the one who carries us throughout our lives. Let us trust in Him. Let us also be a source of joy and peace to other people. There was a song we used to sing. I want to shine, I want to shine. And when people see me, they see you, Jesus. So the question is, me and you, when people see me, do they see Jesus? Or do they see somebody else? Thank you.
Thank you very much. If we still had time, I was going to ask Sister to put these words into melody. But now we come to the end of our show. I thank you very much for your time you gave us watching this show. But most importantly, I thank Sister Mary Regina for being with us.
Welcome.
I hope to see you next time. Talking to so other topics.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you very much. I also take this time to thank Pasco, who was behind the cameras, and JP on the technique to make sure that the sound and image are perfect. Thank you very much. See you next time.
Okay.
Au fur et à mesure que le temps passe, le progrès a toujours besoin d'un rang de lancement. Une onde numérique ayant pour objectif de répandre un bon message. Un message de paix dans toutes les nations, à partir de PACIS TV. Ta vie renouvelée en Jésus-Christ.